What up though? It's Philip Tech. Today I'm gonna show you how to install a Eufy Security Video Doorbell E340. So this is the battery powered video doorbell with dual cameras. First, I'm gonna show you everything that comes inside the box. Let's take a look at the doorbell itself, because that's what we came here for. So this is what it looks like. Let's peel that off. Right here is your main camera. Now this one's gonna be pointing at the people when they're pressing the doorbell. Right here at the bottom is your push button. On the bottom, you have the other camera. Now this one is looking at the bottom, so near the feet. This is used better for packages or smaller kids if there's some. Right here, you also have two LED lights. And at the top, you have another LED light. These will turn on at nighttime. Above the primary camera, that is your motion sensor. So that's what will trigger your motion detection on the camera. There is a little microphone here. And then at the bottom, right here is the speaker. On the back, at the top here, this is what you'll press to detach the doorbell from the mount. These two screws here are what you'll connect your existing chime to if you want to still use your existing chime to the doorbell. Here you have a sync button that you'll use to program the doorbell. And then right here is your Eufy battery. All you have to do to disconnect it is just grab it right here and pull. Pretty simple. It's a 6500 milliamp hour battery. This should be able to last, according to Eufy, for 6 months, but that obviously depends on how many times there are triggers near the doorbell. So I highly doubt this is gonna last 6 months. So let's put it back in. Then if you wanna charge it, there's a charging cover right here that you can just pull out. Now, if you do wanna charge this battery, you will have to pull the battery out and then charge it. And I highly advise you charge it before starting this setup process. Then also you'll need to just pull this tag when you're ready to go. Beneath the tag, there is a QR code that we will scan when programming the doorbell. Let's see what else comes inside the box with the doorbell. So this is a 15-degree mount that you could use if your wall is a little bit sideways and you won't be able to get a good view of the person coming in. Now this is the regular mount that you'll probably be setting up. So you have your screw holes here, one here, one at the bottom. And then if you are using the existing chime, the wires will come through here and connect to the doorbell. And then here at the top, there's also the hole that you will be pressing with this pin to detach the doorbell, and on the back, so you don't lose it, it is magnetic, so that's nice. Here you have a USB Type-C cable for charging the battery, the screws for mounting the battery. Then you have additional jumper cables to connect the existing chime to. Then this one comes with caps if you're not going to use these. Now, let's get into the setup process. The first thing you want to do is download the Eufy Security app and create an account. This is what mine looks like. Now yours won't be the same because I have two cameras connected to a home base already on my account. And if you want to see a video on how to get this connected, just check the link in the bio. Now what we want to do is you want to go to My Devices, click the plus button, scroll down until you see Video Doorbell. All right, let's click that. All right, then we got Video Doorbell. So this is my home device already. And if you don't have one, you would add new home. So the security app needs to restart to scan the QR code. Okay, let's do that. Scan the QR code. Now what you want to do is on the back of your camera right here, this is your QR code. So just put your phone right behind that. You can connect with Wi-Fi, like I said before, if you don't have a home base, and you don't need to go out and buy one. But if you do have a home base, I'd suggest you connect it there. There you can store your videos and have better access to it and control all the other cameras. So now on the back, we have the sync button. So let's press that and hold it until you hear a beep and the LED is flashing blue. All right, so I definitely heard the beep. And there we go, LED is flashing on the back. Okay. So they're gonna generate QR code and then we have to use this camera to scan it.
Connecting to the Wi-Fi network. Please wait. Setup was successful.
All right, and then I heard the home base say the device was added successfully. It's in the room next to me. The doorbell video camera has been added. Let's hit next. device name. I'm just gonna call this front door, or doorbell, maybe doorbell. Let's call it that. So right now it's asking us if we have a traditional wired doorbell in the front. Now the volt, if it's 8 to 24 volts. All right, so for installation process, make sure the battery is installed. Okay, do you plan to use your existing chime? That is correct. I do plan to use my existing chime. I don't want to get the plug-in chime that Eufy has. Yeah, that's what it does. It makes a ding dong sound. Hit next. The rest of these steps show how to disconnect the current doorbell and install the new video doorbell. I'll show you everything once we go outside. So the first thing we're gonna do is turn off the power to the entire house. I don't know exactly which circuit breaker is for my doorbell, so I'm just gonna do it for the entire house. Let's go. If you're upgrading your video doorbell for the first time, there's a good chance you'll also need to upgrade your transformer. The older transformers don't have enough power to power on the video doorbell with the camera, with push buttons, and charge the battery at the same time. The old transformers. I'll have a more detailed video in the description how to find your transformer and change it. For now, what I did was I found my transformer in my basement underneath the fire suppression. I replaced it with a new one with 16 volts, 30 volt ampere rating that I found at Home Depot. This made it much easier. This allowed my video doorbell to work with my existing chime. I'm gonna follow the wire formation as it was last time. Usually black goes with black. That's the power line. You want to put the white with the white for the return. And then the green wires can go with another green wire for ground, or just the straight copper that I have here. Alright, so that should be it for all the wire connections. All three power, return, and ground are all connected, and so is the output right here, the 16 volt. So here's my existing doorbell. There's just 2 screws. We're gonna take those out. So just a Phillips head screwdriver. That one's out. See the other one? So here are the 2 wires, just a red and a black wire. What I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna mark it where I want my doorbell to be, and I pretty much want it the same spot. I'm gonna mark it where I want to drill my holes, and there we go. To drill the holes, I'm just gonna use a 532 drill. Now we're gonna drill the second hole. We're gonna put these in since we're going through a brick wall. If you weren't going through a brick, you can just leave it as is. Just gonna hit it in. What I did here was actually used my own 2 wires, because the ones that came in the Eufy box were too small. They were about 20 gauge, while this wire here was a 16 to 18 gauge and kept ripping. So I just found 2 wires I had, and I'm gonna tie these to the camera. It would have been nicer if I had 2 different colors, but red will do. I'm actually going to use the angle mount here, because I noticed I'm not going to get a lot of room on my other side because how close it is to the wall. So to attach this, you sort of glide it in and it stays in place. And I'm going to put these wires through here, match it with the holes you drilled earlier. Now we're gonna put the camera. Make sure you unscrew these a little bit, so then you can put the wires behind it. And it doesn't matter where the wires go. Make sure you twist the wires before attaching it to the screw. That's very tight right there. And then when you put it back in, it should be pretty easy. Put the bottom part in, and then the top part will go there. So let's try to hide these wires in here. All right, and then, so put the bottom part in, and then push the top. Then you should have a flush finish. And that's it. That's the installation for a Eufy video doorbell.